The Atlas is Volkswagen's entry in the crowded three-row midsize SUV segment. As these vehicles are often used to transport families around, safety is of the utmost importance. We have already seen many vehicles in this class have struggled to protect rear-seat passengers, such as this Honda Pilot. Will the Atlas do any better? Let's find out as we explore the Atlas's performance in the world's most demanding crash tests. We're going to start with the safety of rear-seat passengers in a frontal collision. The updated moderate overlap test now has a crash test dummy in the rear seat. Because of the frequency that the Atlas's rear seat will be used, this test is especially important. Unfortunately, it has disappointing performance in this evaluation. Dummy movement is uncontrolled in the rear. As you can see here, the dummy nearly struck the front seat, and then, during rebound, the dummy had so much upward motion that its head came into contact with the roof liner. This dummy also recorded a high risk of chest injuries and moderate risk of head or neck injuries. The rear seatbelt did remain safely on the pelvis. The Atlas scored the second lowest rating of marginal in this evaluation. The good news is, the Atlas does considerably better in the updated side impact test. This evaluation involves the vehicle being struck on its side by a 4,200-pound truck at 37 miles per hour. The structure performs extremely well. The distance between the B-pillar and seat center line is a very healthy 29.5 centimeters. The driver and passenger heads are well protected by the side curtain airbag. The one concern is up front, where the driver dummy recorded a high risk of injuries to the pelvis. Overall, the Atlas scored the highest rating of good in this evaluation. Now let's check out how strong the Atlas's structure is in a frontal collision. To do this, we'll use the small overlap test, which concentrates all the crash forces on only 25% of the structure. Fortunately, the Atlas has strong performance on the driver's side. The structure held up well. Peak intrusion is 8 centimeters on the driver's side. The passenger's side did a little worse at 14 centimeters of intrusion. It's not an issue at this speed of 40 miles per hour, but it could mean that the structure is reaching its limit, and the performance could quickly deteriorate at higher speeds. Driver and passenger dummy movement was well controlled, and the risk of injuries is low to all body regions. Overall, the Atlas earned the highest score of good on both the driver and passenger sides. The Atlas's roof withstood just over 24,000 pounds of peak force, which is a strong performance and enough to earn the highest rating of good. The Atlas was tested in its abilities to avoid collisions with pedestrians in both day and night conditions, at speeds up to 37 miles per hour. The initial version of the Atlas did extremely poor and failed most day and night scenarios. The refreshed 2024 model gets an upgraded system. It hasn't been tested as of the time of this video's production, but should do considerably better. Like many of its competitors, the Atlas has mixed safety results. It does well in the small overlap, side impact, and roof strength tests, but it struggles to protect rear seat passengers in the crucial updated moderate overlap test. For a family SUV, this is extremely disappointing and exposes rear seat passengers to a major vulnerability. If you plan on using the rear seat, the Ford Explorer and Subaru Ascent make safer options. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about the safety performance of the Ford Explorer or Subaru Ascent, check out one of these videos.